looks like. I look back at it. Turn it that way.
Don't turn it towards me.
Why is it looking at you? It's just because get a central. You could tell there what we're looking at. Right, let's. So it's just cushion behind my back. Make sure it stay that way.
We're still all booth, aren't we? But
well, that's
no
just
that,
well, exactly. I'm afraid we can't do anything about that.
Go a bit sideways.
Right, let's stop. Hi.
Hi. I slapped you at the
Nearly.
Hi.
Jan here. As you may not remember from the last one, we've had to sort of stop abruptly. But mind you, it was to eat, to have lunch.
And to have a haircut.
And we went to have a haircut. Do you notice? So, trimmed.
Yeah.
And we're both all trimmed. But it's been really handy to have it trimmed again because it's been warm again. But it's a bit grey today, mind you.
But it's still warm.
Do you know, sometimes I'll sit here, look out, see there it's grey.
Yes.
And usually over there it's blue.
It
gets very confusing what the weather's doing. As you can see, we're in my living room. Come kitchen, come dining room.
Well, it's just the room you live in.
It's just, exactly.
Exactly that.
So, we haven't done a lot because obviously it's only a couple of days ago. But obviously, yes, we had a haircut. We've been for a walk. Yes.
Done 2 yogas this week.
You've done 2 yogas this week.
Didn't.
I didn't do yoga yesterday because, apart from the fact that I didn't get to sleep till about 5 o'clock in the morning, so I was quite tired. If you remember in the last one, we were saying that I'd had a fall and my chest was hurting, like if I cough or anything like that, quite painful. And I thought, I'm probably not helping matters, keep doing stretches and everything. So, Googled it, of course, and it said on there it needs cold compress and resting. So I did, but I went to watch them for a laugh. Duncan went as well, so I watched them. And I do feel a bit better because I've rested. So, but also, I've also now I'll take a picture of this and put it in. But I've also got this support thing for my foot for my plantar fasciitis.
Yes, you're getting it. Yeah.
So
we realised
I feel like a complete wreck.
Didn't we?
Yeah, exactly. It's 2 eyes rather than no L. Even though I was thinking the L must be silent, but it's not there anyway.
It's very silent. It's not there.
So I didn't do an awful lot, but Duncan and I went and had pizza in our new pizza oven in the garden yesterday as well.
Oh,
so that was
lovely.
nice. Sharon gave us a bag of tomatoes and we ate them all.
They were nice.
They are very nice. They'd got a bit warm in the sun, but then apparently we've been talking about this. You're not supposed to put tomatoes in the fridge.
In the fridge, yeah.
And I must admit, because they're warm, they did seem to have
very juicy. Weren't
yeah,
they?
very juicy, very
lovely.
nice. Whereas, so Sharon's been lucky with her little crop this year, whereas ours is very, very slow.
But I've got no idea what I've done.
It's probably the best way. Just plant them and turn your back and just let them do their thing.
They're very high, very wide. They kind of took over the garden.
Oh, are they?
Yeah,
where have you got them then?
Next to the chicken coop. That might. Now, are they where the chicken coop used to be? I don't know. Because I always think that's probably quite a fertile area at the moment.
Oh yeah, it's got chicken poo in there and everything, so it could be. Yeah, I mean, I think ours used to do. It's a good point. I've forgotten that.
Yeah.
Because we used to. I can remember us having lots of really good crops and stuff. I mean, and they're not bad now, but I think in some ways certain things were a lot better. And I think that's the days when our potatoes weren't pitted either. So maybe chicken poo's the way to go.
Yes.
Because we used to have a lot of chicken poo in our compost, which is probably well broken down and gone now. And
I'll start collecting it again.
Yeah. So do you put it in the compost bin anyway?
Yes, I do, with the sawdust when I clean her out.
Yeah.
But I don't pick it up on the floor necessarily.
No, I only ever did it out the
and
coop.
when she's free ranging, there's some on the lawn, I don't know why I call it lawn. But the other thing is, where she sits in the evening, she sits on top of the roof, doesn't she, of the coop?
She likes to admire herself in that mirror, doesn't she?
Exactly. Where, therefore, all the chicken poo has gone down the back of the roof, in between the roof and the mirror. And I can't get to, so I've got a huge supply down there I can't get to at the moment. I'm going to have to scoop it all out.
Nice. Look forward to that.
I've been avoiding it really.
Yeah, but so other than that, Well, you haven't done anything.
We did 2 walks this week, didn't we? We did.
Yeah. I'm still baffled as to how I managed to hurt my chest, although I can only put it down to the fact that I stopped myself with my...
That's
in a bit of a sudden...
You fell on that side, Jan.
Did I?
Yeah.
So you saw more what happened than I did, really.
Yeah, and
I
you
just
put that hand out and you fell on that side.
Well, there you go.
I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah. Don't worry about it, because this side, being my mastectomy side, and anything that happens on this side, he worries about it. So he keeps checking on me. You okay? You okay? And I said, well, the thing is, having no lymph nodes affects the fact that if I get infected on that side for some reason, a cut or something,
yes,
that is when it could be a problem. Because I always remember the Dr. Mill saying, just be careful not to cut yourself and that, because you could get infected and it won't heal in the way it should. Whereas this being muscular, I don't think that's a problem. So but then he does worry about me anyway. Even this morning, he went off to work and he said, "How's your chest?"
The massage.
Yeah, and he had to make his own lunch today because he decided he was going to have today off. And I was still in bed. He got up and because the weather was rubbish, he said, "Well, I've decided I've changed. I'm going to go to work today." It's all right, I've made my own lunch. I thought, I dread to think. I just imagine he's probably done the rolls and he's put like one swipe of butter on. Whereas I would make sure it went right to the edge, all the butter. I do like to give them
I don't eat the edges if there's no butter on them.
Well, it's it. I mean, the French don't even tend to put butter in their sandwiches, so you've got to ask for it. So I just can't stand the thoughts of a sandwich without butter. Some of you are probably saying, "Oh, Jan," but we like our butter.
I do like our butter.
So anyway, so he has gone to work after all. So I don't know what's coming up this weekend. Oh, we're going to Sharon's on Saturday.
You are?
Sharon's hosting.
It's a rare occasion.
Yeah, it's us, me and Duncan and Frank and David.
I don't know why it's a rare occurrence. I used to get very nervous about doing it. But it's
not
also,
so bad with
it's
English. It's when, although that probably does worry you, but I mean, if you got Matty and Leon coming round, it's a bit more nerve-wracking. But even I get a little bit anxious about that until they're here, and then I'm fine because I know they really do not care. So and because Sharon doesn't, it's the cooking. Sharon doesn't really like to cook for herself, let alone other people. But no, so we're doing that. That's going to be fun. Saturday, we should no doubt have a laugh.
I've got fish and chips tonight.
Yes.
Don't sneer at me.
I didn't. Well, I didn't sneer. I'm not really a sneer. It's more of a. I didn't. If I sneered, it was without realising it.
Yeah, you're like, full of English.
Yeah. Sharon doesn't care who's there, as long as you get a nice fish and chips. Whereas we don't like going because it's going to be full of Brits, and especially and very often clients of Dunks, which he doesn't want to do. He doesn't want to be talking.
No, I understand.
Work outside work. So, and next week, I've already mentioned this once, but next Tuesday I'm going to be interviewing one of Dunk's clients who happens to be a viewer, and she's going to be talking about why when they bought a house here, basically like the usual interview, how they find it here, and just the whole story, hopefully. And she's a bit of an artist, so I'm quite looking. I remember when I went to the house before, on one wall up the stairs, she's done a whole mural painted on one of her walls. Lovely. So I'm looking forward to, hopefully she'll let me show you. I don't see why she wouldn't, because apparently she used to paint scenery for theatres.
Oh, right.
So she's used to, because I said to her I'd find that really daunting, painting something really big, because I love little things with detail. And she said I'm the other way around, that really find that scary to have to do something small.
That's really interesting.
Yeah. So so look out for that one. Otherwise, before that, we get on to Sharon's dreams, of course.
Well, it's a very short one, and it was last night. And
wait for it.
My mum was tidying in the kitchen. It was my childhood home, so mum was tidying up. There were a lot of clothes on the floor and stuff. And this small creature was flying around, and it flew into my ear. And it stayed there. And every now and again I'm talking and it would hoot. So when I woke up, I thought, I don't think I'm going to be able to explain what this creature looks like. So I drew a picture.
Oh, right, okay.
So
show me, and then I'll take a picture of it and put it on the screen.
This is what flew into my ear.
Right, okay.
It's like a cross between, I suppose it was about the size, when it was flying round, because obviously it wouldn't have been that in my ear, it was about the size of a small bird, I suppose. But it had a really long tail, and it had a kind of, not a beak, more of a tooter. It had a tooter on the front. And it was in my ear, and then I'm trying to have conversations, and it's going, in my ear. It's the strangest thing. So that's a nice quick one for you, but yeah, that's what happened last night.
So that was it, like, so nothing else. You've been obviously sleeping without dreams.
Well, there was a lot of tidying up involved in that dream.
Oh, right, okay.
And there was a lot of sorting through clothes, trying to work out what was dirty and what was clean. I don't know why. But at the end, the thing.
Anyway, continuing on from what we were talking about last time, we were talking about minimalism, as it were, decluttering, because I'd watched this man on his channel. I did put his name up. I'll try and put it up again. Because I just found it really interesting that we do very often, all of us, buy things we don't need, and because we're both into recycling and trying not to buy stuff, but it's impossible, really. We were saying the last time, the big issue as well with, although everything's an issue if there's too much of it, is the plastic issue.
Yes.
The one-use plastic, all this sort of thing. And it's really hard to avoid it. We were saying it's about time companies just found another way. It's not like they didn't know it was coming.
Well, there's no incentive for them to find another way, because it's still a cheap way. It's cheap to produce, and it's cheap to transport, because it's so much lighter than the alternatives, like glass and things like that. So if I was Prime Minister or President,
okay,
I think companies should just be banned from using what's called virgin plastic. So,
I thought something had come into place in France, but they were talking about banning one-use plastic. But whether that's just going to take years to come in...
Yeah, I think France are quite ahead of the game, actually, because they've started putting additional taxes on that kind of fast fashion and things like that, haven't they?
They have, actually, yeah. That's this year they started that, wasn't it?
We've got a bottle shredder now, haven't we?
And I think some of the things that they've adopted are probably like what they were probably doing in China and places. Sweden, I think, is another one that do that sort of thing. Yeah. So yeah, it's really heartwarming to see that things are happening, but how quick it will have an impact.
And we're still talking about plastic still being produced for the first time, and I don't think there's any justification for producing new plastic when you know that every bit of plastic we've ever produced is still here. So
we were talking about this on a walk the other day, but sometimes it's snobbery with people, sometimes it's cost, because when they recycle something they charge more for it, which is, I know I can understand it's going through a different process, but why can't they get real and think this has got to happen?
Yeah,
so
got
just
to happen. Yeah.
And also the thing about, like, we have clear water bottles, clear Coke bottles, all this sort of thing.
Yes.
No advertising there, by the way.
But that's the virgin plastic. So one of the reasons they say they don't use that plastic again for the same use is that it's cloudy after it's been used once.
Yes,
well,
and then they think that's going to put people off. But if we accepted that it might have to be a different colour or it might be cloudy, and they drop the snobbery, if you like, then maybe they'd be able to do it a bit more, because they don't want it to put people off buying, because it's money to them, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
and I do appreciate that glass obviously is easy to recycle, but then it's much heavier to transport.
Yeah, and then you've got the issue of the emissions.
Sorry, I'm going to have to itch my boob. You might want to take this bit out.
It's not your little insect in there, is it?
Toot toot. Sorry.
Anyway, get back to some of the questions that man was asking. He was saying, look, how many people have joy in their lives with a lot less possessions?
Yes.
And it's true, isn't it? I mean, you think, if you look at a lot of these, even tribes, if you like, in Africa or something, they've nearly always got a smile on their face, and they've got so little. Things like that, and you think, why do I want this thing? Why do I feel I've got to have this thing?
Yes.
And I've tried to be good about that, but it's really hard when you've got children, because children are pushed, what do they call it, influenced by their peers, because some parents will just give their children everything, and they're not thinking of the consequences. And so your children, they want the same. They feel, why are we missing out? It's all that sort of thing, isn't it? We don't need stuff.
Electronics.
For just the sake of having stuff.
Yes, I was listening to a history podcast, and they were talking about clothing. And of course, clothing, it was a process, because only the very rich could have clothing made for them. So everyone else was making their own clothes, and washing and drying was more difficult. So if you had one wool coat, you would have that for 30, 40 years, because actually to manufacture a wool coat, and then the material wouldn't have been easy to get hold of, and you wouldn't wash it very often because it took 2 weeks to dry. So clothes just lasted and were kept for such a long time.
We almost need to go back to wartime.
Yes.
When it was make, do, amend.
Yes.
Because, I mean, I'd try to do that anyway. But I mean, like, the amount of times they'd have a coat for years and they'd have patches, and it became a fashion having patches on the elbow.
Yeah.
Things, just things like that. And knowing how to do the stuff doesn't take a lot, and it's so satisfying. Just as soon as I'll have a little, like most of you have probably got a repair pile. As soon as you think, well, some people think, oh, that needs a button, chuck that.
Yeah.
Just put a button on, just patch a hole. And that Shishiko embroidery, if some of you may have heard of it, that's really good for toughening up elbows and knees and things like that, to make those jeans last a bit longer. It really doesn't matter unless you're in fashion, or if you're in the public eye, I suppose, maybe. But even then, maybe they should be setting an example.
Yes, absolutely.
What does it matter what you're wearing?
Yeah.
I mean, we sit here and worry about how we look, but not clothes-wise. More a case of trying not to show too many rolls and things when we're sitting here. But at least that doesn't cost us anything. Whereas if we just worried about what we were wearing and anyway.
Yeah. No, I do think there is a good movement towards.
It's getting better, isn't it? And more and more, even YouTube, you can tell more and more people are showing how to recycle, how to make, do, amend, and everything through the whole lot. It'll be furniture, clothes. And last night, just like in bed, I was last night watching something. It was almost going back to wartime, that sort of thing, or 50s, where showing you how to make good, cheap food.
Yes.
And you're not wasting a ton of money. And in bed, I had to pick up my phone up and start writing some of the recipes down, because some of them were lovely. A lot of it involved minced beef, I have to say. But it was just, sometimes you need, it's like I've got a ton of cookery books out there. Do I look at them? Do I actually look at them? No. Sometimes if I've got someone come round for dinner, which is very rare, I might look at them. If I'm going to, I haven't cut them last time I did a 3-course meal or something. It generally ends up being a pizza or cheese and bread or something like that.
Well, because I think you realise over time that it's the company that's important, isn't it?
Exactly. That's the main thing. And I think I like to follow a recipe, and if I do it successfully, it's great. But very often you end up having to go out and buy more stuff because you haven't got everything there.
And it's more stressful, I think.
Yeah. I suppose that's one thing I'm guilty of. I do like to have a lot of mixture of stuff in, because if I want to do a recipe, I want to be able to turn around, fine, I've got it, I haven't got to go out and buy it. But I like to think I'm quite good at just making something out of nothing as well. As Sharon would say many times, and I've told you before, I'm not very good anyway at being told what to do.
No.
So following a recipe or following instructions is not my bag, if you like. I said it again. So I do like to just throw things in, and I go by smell and things like that. Anyway, we're going off on a tangent again. So having possessions doesn't necessarily make you happy.
No. Just one more thing on food is I bulk buying has often been suggested as a good idea for saving money, and I appreciate that, but sometimes you can end up just buying things you wouldn't have anyway, or buying too many of one thing, and then they get hidden at the back of the cupboard, and then 2 years later you're throwing them out because they're out of date.
So it's cheap at the time, but
there's a balance to be found with things like that, because it is tempting, isn't it? Because buy one get one free,
and you're convinced you're going to use it as well, aren't you?
Yeah,
That's the thing. You're, I'll do that.
Yeah.
And then you go out of that mood, or you just don't fancy doing that again.
I do find it quite satisfying to try and use up my cupboard supplies.
Oh God, yeah.
That's quite nice to suddenly see your cupboard getting quite empty because you've used what you've got rather than.
Well, it's the fridge and the freezer, isn't it? If you can run that down, I think that's really satisfying, because then it's nice to then replenish it and think about what you're buying again. My tin cupboard, as I call it, that doesn't go down very quickly, but then again they've all got very long dates on them, so it's not as bad. But every now and then Duncan gets down on the floor, because I can't, it hurts my knees to get down on the floor. He'll get sit in front of that cupboard and drag everything out, bring everything from the back to the front, and are we going to use this? Is this going to get used? Or then I might think, I could do that tonight.
Yes, yeah.
So it does.
So
but it's
a balance, really.
Yeah. I mean, the one question he says was, can we learn what's more important? Which, yes, we should. It's the people you're with that's more important. Just being and keeping warm and things like that. But
that's another thing that my kids have started to be. Oh no, they've been good at it for a while, but around gifts. Is they
I think we've mentioned that before, haven't we? About
they'd
being
much
conscious.
rather have not edibles, just not disposables. What's the word I'm looking for? Perishables.
Oh, perishables? No, I don't know. What are you trying to say? Tell me in a long way round.
Things you can consume.
Right.
Consumables might be a good way of saying.
Right, because then that's just gone inside you and it's not
you've
taking up
enjoyed
space.
it. Yeah. Or experiences.
Yeah.
So, we've started
and
to
either
spend,
way is an experience, isn't it?
Yes, we've started to spend more on where we are, where we meet together, rather than spending lots of money on things and almost buying things for the sake of it because it's Christmas.
This made me think, actually, because I'm always buying my grandchildren vouchers, and I expect very often I don't like to buy them toys and things like that, because I know, obviously I've been to their houses, I know they've got far more than they actually need. I buy them vouchers and I think I'm probably still contributing to that happening.
Yes.
I mean, my daughter did send me a little video after Remy's birthday the other day, because I sent the voucher, and she sent me a picture showing that she bought us some pyjamas. I think it was Peppa Pig pyjamas or something, which I don't mind so much clothes, because when they're little they grow very quickly. So I was really pleased that she took the time to do that for me. But I'm now wondering, maybe I should do because you can buy vouchers for theatre, like going to the cinema and stuff like that.
Yeah, cinema or
so maybe
restaurants,
that would be the way to go.
Certainly your older grandchildren, if you bought them like a Five Guys or TGI Fridays voucher to go out with their friends or something like that, they might really appreciate that.
Only downside of that is you're then hoping that their friends can afford to go with them.
Yeah.
Or can the family actually afford to go there to then use that ticket? Well, it's a difficult one.
I was thinking mainly of Stacey's kids. They're teenagers. They're just going out with their boyfriends now, aren't they? So, so you and your boyfriend
so
go to Five Guys.
Yes, so maybe the older ones would be a good way to. Yeah, I'll have to remember that.
Yeah, all living and learning, aren't we?
Exactly. Another one was, how would your daily routine improve with less possessions? Obviously less housework.
Yes,
We've touched on this before.
Less dusting.
Yes, less dusting.
I seem to be increasing my dusting at the moment.
What, because you're not doing it, or because you're buying stuff that needs...
I keep collecting things.
Stop
collecting things.
Yeah,
stop collecting houses.
Well, you haven't got the complete control over that, though, have you? Because
people buy me houses.
Exactly, people do buy it. Unless you're going to say to them, please don't buy me any more houses.
Well, I like having a new house.
But, one thing, I think, again, we've said this before, if you go into a big grenier or something, it gives you something to look for. In some ways, it's quite sad that you just wander around just looking at stuff and never picking it up.
And you're helping someone else recycle. So it's
I mean, as we've said before, when we first bought this house, it was fantastic going out and really exciting to look for stuff to use. I mean, we still do it to a certain extent, mainly for the garden.
Yeah.
But it's just don't do that. Or if we're going out, just look for stuff that you can recycle. Don't just buy it for the sake of it.
Well, from that point of view, things in our houses, I think, apart from Duncan's small Temu obsession at the moment, he'll come out of it.
He will come out of it. But again, as I said, he does buy mainly for work.
Where was I going?
Apart from that,
most of our stuff in our house is second-hand,
well, as
gifted or made.
As I'm sitting there looking round, there's not a lot here that's actually new. Electronics might often be.
Yes.
Although Duncan did buy a second-hand CD player.
He did.
Because he doesn't want to throw the CDs away. So he bought that so that we could play them. And I think even our amp, I think that was second-hand. But other stuff, like we've got speakers that we've had for 20 odd years. He made the speaker stands. It's things like that. Our cupboard is nearly everything is second-hand or made from second-hand wood that Duncan's done.
A lot of mine is. Some I inherited with the house. I would say, in my defence, with my slight still IKEA obsession, is that it needs to be... Some things I've had to buy because I needed them now, because I didn't have anywhere to put my clothes, for instance, and stuff like that. And also because I've got 2 floors of the attic, I'd love to have big old wardrobes or something. You just can't get them up there.
No. The stairs are very awkward to get up, and then obviously you've got the sloped ceiling to contend with. Even this light second-hand.
Yeah.
And obviously the typewriter second-hand.
Yes.
But it's quite satisfying to say when you sit back and look. I mean, we've got a couple of little souvenirs we've bought on holiday, but as I said, again, that's mainly Duncan, not me. But
it's quite... I have done this before. Is go round your room and just go new, old, second-hand, gifted, and see how many times you say the words new. It won't be very often between us two, I don't think.
I'd like to go around and take photos, actually, and maybe I could put them out on the video just to show what you can do and what. And it's reminding me that I'm trying to be a good girl.
I think having a Duncan is handy.
Well, I mean, it helps you when you can, but if you had your own Duncan, that would help more. And the other thing is, one thing he says is, there are, always, we have had this conversation.
Carpenter.
We had a conversation about being single and not, obviously, being a couple. And there's certain things like with Sharon, she's got control of the remote control. I haven't, but that's not that's not Duncan's fault. That's mine, because I'm easier. I just let him just choose what we're going to watch. And he spends all his time saying, "Do you want to watch this?" And I'm saying, "It's right, you watch it. I'm just too start on my phone." And so the whole time, things like that, or having to. Sometimes you think you want to do something. Again, he would never stop me, but me being me, I will always consider Duncan being included.
Yes.
Because.
You're in a partnership.
Exactly. Anyway, again,
the advantage of Duncan in particular is he's very handy and he does make things. I mean, he's made things for me as well. But it does help.
And one thing he if he can do it, he will do it rather than spend the money. And if he knows Sharon's going to pay someone to do it, very often he will say, "Don't do that," or "It'll only take 5 minutes." That's his classic.
Or, well, the other thing he used to say was, "You could knock that up." I think
you could knock that up. Yeah.
Because he knows I can't.
Yeah, but they're talking about us here, Dunk, not you. But, I mean, the latest one, like he did your oil change on the car, things like that can cost...
Yeah, and he made my coffee table that's very much...
Yeah, it's as much like the same
yours.
As ours,
Yeah, and things like that.
So he's still got to do some sockets in a room. He keeps forgetting about that, but he'll get there. But One question he asked was, are we trying to impress people with our possessions?
I don't think we're like that. I know people like that.
There are, yeah, because people will brag. I mean, I used to know someone, we bought a TV, a brand new TV, and the next thing I knew, she'd gone and got a bigger TV. Do you know what I mean? It's that sort of hate that people, when they want to do that, it's, why? You know?
Yeah, I do know people like that, and often I stopped following a few people on YouTube that I like watching crafty things and how to produce something on the cheap, but quite often they're buying plastic again. So they're saying, oh, there was this vase on some expensive site. So, you know, I went to, what they go to in America.
Well, I go to Walmart quite often.
Yeah, no, it wasn't that. It's the crafty one. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Oh, like a girl's name, wasn't it? Or something like that.
That sounds familiar. But anyway, I went there and I bought 2 plastic things and put them together. And I think, well, no, you just bought 2 plastic things.
Yeah, why didn't you go and get a second-hand one and do it? Yeah.
So I stopped following a lot of those
I mean,
people.
it's impressive that they can do it, but do it with something you're recycling.
Yeah.
We do sound like a bit of a nag, but we are trying to make a point.
Yes, and we're not perfect by any means,
No,
you know.
because the way life is, we've got no choice in certain areas.
Yeah, we still buy plastic. We do still buy plastic.
We wouldn't eat if we didn't buy plastic, basically, would we?
Absolutely. I used up a load of salad stuff, and it was a really healthy meal. But at the end of it, I had something like 5 plastic dishes that had come in. You know, and that was a tabbouleh, some prawns, some hummus, some yogurt, and something else. So
talking about that,
it'd
seafood.
be interesting to do that for a week, wouldn't it?
Trying to think. What
Just
do you mean?
collect all our plastic for a week.
Yeah,
see what we get. I might try that.
I mean, back in the day when you used to, I mean, I don't know, they still do it, but you used to go to a pub in the UK or like a working man's club, still pubbish, and what do they call it? The fish man would come round. I think it was called something else, and they used to have a basket with all seafood, and you could buy it from him. But I can't remember what they were in. I don't know if they were in paper bags or. I don't remember. They're funny.
We used to buy cockles in Woolwich Market.
I know.
On a little tiny saucer.
I just remember sometimes I've seen them in a polystyrene cup. So back then, back then it wasn't great.
Yeah. But you did used to also buy. I don't know if it's still the same in the fishmongers in France, because they are more traditional from that point of view, aren't they? Well, certainly in the countryside. So we can judge it on. Is you'll get a pint of prawns. It might be a litre over here, but a big metal scoop would just scoop them up. But it is so difficult. And my Callum my son always accuses me of wish cycling. Yeah, which is putting things in the recycling which can't be recycled.
Yeah, and I reckon everybody's guilty of that. I mean, I know I am, because I quite often look at it and I think,
I don't know.
I can't remember if this is one that can be recycled or not.
I can't remember, so therefore I'll stick it in.
Yeah.
But he says sometimes that can contaminate the whole bunch, and then none of that gets recycled.
I think at least once a year we've had an email. I don't know if you've got it, but I know I've received an email from somewhere here who they do a day where you can go. I thought they did it up at the recycling bins.
I think they did. I thought they did it at the Chateau in Lassay.
Possibly.
Where you go to a little talk.
But you go to a talk and they tell you what you can recycle and everything else.
Make the effort to
We've
go.
not been, because a lot of the time we're not. I mean, physically, if they're showing you stuff, yes, you should know. But language-wise, we might not necessarily get it. And sometimes you can feel really awkward because you think, I'm not going to be able to. If they stand there and ask me a question, although I'm doing my French every day, I'm getting better. So they do make the effort here to try and encourage people to do it. Yeah. And I think one problem we've still got here, which I know we had in the UK, and it's not just the people themselves, but you go to the recycling and there's so much rubbish on the floor, where people are just lazy. They'll drop it because they're putting stuff in the bin, drop it on the floor, can't be bothered to bend down to pick it up and put it in the bin. So Muggins here, if I've got time that
I'll
particular
pick it
day,
up.
I pick it up
Yeah.
and put it in. Or if it's something that just cannot go in those bins, it should go to the déchetterie, as in the recycle. What do they call it in UK? It was be like recycle.
Be the tip, wouldn't it?
Yeah, or tip.
Recycle centre.
Or dump, all that sort of. It should go there, but they think, oh, I'll leave it there. Someone else will pick it up and take it. You know, it's just laziness. The world over, there's people like that.
Yeah.
And one of the things what we were talking about the other day was this same man who I got these questions from. I listened to another video, and he was saying about 25 things you could throw out. And I mean, I know I heard the first 3 things and I had to turn it off because I was a little bit angry, because he was encouraging people to throw out that DVD, because you can watch anything on the TV now. Throw out that CD. You can get everything downloaded now. And old videos. I mean, you still, even here, you still see people selling videos. I mean, they are a bit defunct because I don't know if many people have got players, but there are people that maybe do. But there are also people that recycle them and make them into things. But it just made me angry that he's encouraging people. Where's it going to go? It's going to go onto landfill.
Yeah, I think you have to be. Yeah, if I move on to the vide grenier, in that our friend Jackie, and I are going to do a joint vide grenier, which is like a boot fair. There's an indoor shop in Laval. That you can rent a booth, if you like, for a month.
I have taken you on a video a long time ago, but you won't remember if you never, and you won't know if you never watched before.
I've never remembered.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that to try and get rid of some stuff. And I said to Jackie, I'll go in with you, but I don't think I've got much. Well, have I got a pile? And I'm not even being that ruthless. All I've done is move room to room, cupboard to cupboard, and think, when was the last time I used that? Have I ever used that? Some of it's second-hand things that I thought I would use and I haven't. Some of none of it's brand new, but some of it's aging, if you like. But I think you'd be surprised how easy it would be to find 25 things.
Yeah.
But it's that thing about minimalism is not the same as recycling.
No.
Because,
exactly.
Getting rid of stuff, if you're just dumping it, I don't see the point.
It's then, as we've said before, becomes someone else's problem.
Yes, yeah.
But, when you're taking a step to minimalise your life, but doing it by trying to recoup some money for it as well.
Yes, yeah.
But I don't think there's an overall solution. It's really hard.
Well, and now they don't put recycle at the top, do they? I think the first thing is don't buy it in the first place.
Yeah.
The second thing is try and reuse it and then recycle. And that would include passing it on to someone else. But we've also watched videos where clothes have been sent to countries, say in Africa, and they're just in their dump now because
they can't deal with it.
Yeah, they're not sending it to the right places, or too much is being sent, so it's just creating a problem somewhere else.
Yeah, I think we've touched on that before.
Yeah.
It's just it's off your conscience, if you like, but it's not really doing anybody any good. So
sorry, I'm picking.
Rethink and recycle it yourself if you can, and say, come back to this, make, do and mend.
Yep.
I mean, things like shoes, back in the day, you used to be able to resole shoes, didn't you?
Yes.
Or take it back to the cobblers.
Yep.
And they'd resole things, but a lot of things now can't be resold.
No.
Sold? That's right, isn't it? The wrong sort of sold, but resold as in the sole of your shoe.
Yes.
So, yeah, I just think it's a real everything. I mean, there are very few, but there are places where you can take quite a lot of things and get them, and they'll fix it for you. I mean, that's something for some people if they haven't got a job. Get into that.
Yeah.
So do something where someone could just take something to them and they repair it.
And
Back in the day, they used to repair TVs and things like that, didn't they?
Well, we didn't own them either.
No, you used to have to rent them. Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the whole thing has a bit of a negative impact, really, sadly.
I think going minimalist overnight would just produce a load of waste. What you can do is maybe reduce over time. Oh, that's what the first one. Reduce, reuse, recycle.
Oh, right.
But there is don't buy in the first place. So maybe if one of your ornaments breaks and can't be fixed, well, maybe you don't replace that ornament, or you have a one in, one out policy. And as things wear out, you think, well, that's worn out, but I've got 2 others of those, so I don't need to keep replacing. So, yeah.
That's something for viewers, actually, thinking about it. If you recycle, tell us what you recycle, as in not the ones you take to the recycling bins, but what you recycle in your home, how you do it or whatever. Maybe even send us a little video showing us what it is you do, or or photos, and just it'd be interesting to see. You might even be able to give us ideas, and also warm our hearts by knowing that there's people out there doing it as well. There's I can't think what else you could be showing us, really, or just tell us what you recycle and how do you feel about it all.
So I think becoming a minimalist is, I think in a lot of ways it's a good thing not to constantly collect and constantly fill your house with stuff. Especially if it's expensive stuff, you can be using that money elsewhere as well. But there's also about not throwing out the baby with the bathwater, really. So
I've just sitting there looking at my DVDs. I just remembered something when, like some of you may do it, but CDs, DVDs, and that, if they're ones you're never ever going to look at again. I had them hanging in the garden, so they're supposed to keep the birds away from your veg and things like that. So that's one little recycle, which there's still actually some of them are still hanging up with me blackberries.
I remember going to a restaurant. I can't remember where it was. Worcester, I think. Doesn't matter. And their menus were old DVD.
Oh, really?
Covers. It was really sweet.
Oh, great.
So on the front, you just put a different piece of paper saying this restaurant. You open it up and it's got the menu inside.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and that obviously stops it from getting wet as well when it's closed, things like that. But
that's reprinting.
I'm not going to be doing a channel on recycling, as it were. Obviously my sewing channel, which Foppy, what do I call it, Foppy Upcycle. Yes. I haven't done anything on there, I've noticed now, for about 5 months.
Really,
because
Joe?
I'm so wrapped up on doing this channel, I do forget. And
we have been recycling as well.
Yeah, we've been redoing stuff.
I say we because if I'm sewing, then Jan's had a big input. Except when Marley had a big input.
Yeah.
But I made a jacket out of a blanket.
That's been on a video, that one.
And then we did the dress out of a
duvet cover.
And we've just done the top out of a curtain. A curtain.
So we have done these things. I might have the photos. I'm not sure, but yes, it's not always easy with 2 of us to show a sewing video. But I think the last one I did was when I was showing Sharon how to cut out this the dress pattern.
Yes, I had to read a pattern.
But I haven't managed to do anything since then, which is quite frustrating. It's not easy having 2 channels, but I do like to try and do it. And I know I've got very few viewers on there, which doesn't inspire me either.
No.
But if it's something you want to see, then obviously let me know. But other than that, I do try on there just to recycle and use up stuff, basically, rather than go out and buy new. I'll try and use everything I've got there, and even though I have to adapt my pattern a little bit, or whatever, just use it up. So I think we're going to probably...
Was that?
Oh, that was it, yeah.
Okay.
It was. Yeah, is there anything left on our bucket list, and would minimalising help me experience those things? Which I suppose it goes back to what you were saying about, rather than buying things, buy an experience.
Yeah.
Do that.
Yeah,
or just
definitely.
Experience of some sort, whether it be like my neighbours got a few years ago, my birthday present was a couple of horse riding lessons. Things like that. I never went again because it hurt. But it was a nice thing to do.
It was a nice thing to do.
And we had another one that was bought for us by someone, and we never got. And ended up, it did go to waste because we didn't anything on this particular experience. We didn't get to do. We just could not find anywhere to do what we wanted to do, which is a bit sad. Anyway, we're going to call it a day there. Next time, the Nosey Jug will come out.
Of course.
And I know some of you like that. So we are going to say au revoir.
Bye-bye.
I'll see you next time.